So what's it like starting the carnivore diet after the age of 60? Well, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and one surprising one that not many people talk about. Now, before I get into this, I want to state that what you experience starting the carnivore diet is going to really be dependent on your state of health when you start the carnivore diet. Obviously, the worse your health is, the more you're going to feel some of these things beyond what other people feel. So the first thing is you're going to experience the keto flu. Yep, you're going to get it. How bad it is, again, depends on your health coming into this. For me, I was pretty good health, so my keto flu was basically one day of feeling run down. That was about it. I've heard of headaches and just all around fatigue and just really, really bad. So it just depends on where you're coming from as to how much of that you're going to feel and how long it lasts. The next thing that you're going to experience is diarrhea. Yes, you're going to get it. And how long that lasts varies from person to person. Some people it lasts a few weeks, some people months. For me, it was off and on for about 4 months. Thankfully, for the last 4 or 5 months, I really haven't had a bout of it, so I finally got things kind of settled in and dialed in so that I've alleviated that little part of things. The next thing was leg cramps. Now, because I'm physically active at work, I think I experienced those more than what most people would. But it took me a good 4 or 5 months to figure out the right balance of everything to get those to go away. And the biggest thing that I did was I added magnesium glycinate to my diet. And once I did that, after a couple of days of taking it, my leg cramps stopped, and I haven't had any since. So I'm pretty sure that I was magnesium deficient, and magnesium citrate really doesn't absorb well in the body. Magnesium glycinate is much more readily absorbed, so that's the one I went with. Your mileage may vary. The next thing was mental clarity, and what I mean by that is I was able to stay focused for longer periods of time. Prior to that, I would kind of have the just like a jackrabbit, jumping from here to there and here to there. I really couldn't stay focused on one task for very long. But now I can. I'm pretty focused on things. I wake up, I'm pretty much awake. I don't have that morning slug where it seems like I need 100 cups of coffee to get rolling. I'm really kind of just about ready to roll right out of bed. So the mental clarity part of it was really good. The next thing I experienced was improvement in my memory. And if you're over 60 and maybe even younger than that, I'm sure you've experienced walking into the kitchen and standing there trying to remember why you went into the kitchen. And I just thought that was, getting older. That happens. And a lot of times I would be on a job and go out to my truck to get something and then couldn't remember what I needed. Start heading back in because I couldn't remember. And then halfway back I would remember and turn around and go back to the truck. Now I go out to the truck, I remember what I needed, and sometimes I even think of things that I didn't really realize that I needed, but while I was standing there, it dawned on me that I needed it. That never happened before. So my memory improved with this diet, and I've heard of other people experiencing the same thing, so I don't think it's an anomaly. The next thing was the boost in energy. And it took me probably 2 to 3 months before I experienced this, but I got up one day and holy crap, I was raring to go, and I didn't stop all day long. It was non-stop, just getting things done, working in the yard and things around the house, and it was just like I couldn't sit still, and that was amazing. Now it's kind of leveled off a little bit, but I still have more energy than what I had before, and I think that initial boost was just my body going, hey, we're back in sync, and here you go. And like I said, I've leveled off now, but I still have way more energy than what I had before. I can work all day and come home and not fall asleep on the couch within the first half hour. So that's been a pretty good benefit that I've discovered with this. The next thing I experienced was weight loss. And when you start carnivore, initially you're going to lose water weight. And so the weight's going to come off pretty rapidly at first, and then it'll kind of slow down, and you should be around 1.5 to 3 pounds depending on how much weight you have to lose. And that's also going to vary based on how strict you are with carnivore. I recommend most people be fairly strict the first 30 days just to get your body into ketosis and get it healthy before you start consuming some other things. But again, it's going to vary from person to person. Some people stall out after a couple of months and then things pick up again. Some people just continue to lose the whole time. For me, I lost weight consistently for the first 6 months, and then I kind of leveled off, and I've stayed at my current weight for the last 4 months. So that's been pretty good. The other thing that I noticed, because I have osteoarthritis mainly in my hand, and which was one of the reasons why I started the carnivore diet, not just weight loss, but my joint pain has decreased. And I attribute that to carnivore. I use my hands a lot at work, and prior to starting carnivore, my hand got so bad that I couldn't hardly hold my cell phone with my left hand, which is where I have the arthritis. Now I'm fitting pipes and clamping things, and I don't have hardly any pain anymore, and I'm sure that will improve even more the longer I'm on carnivore. But I've heard people with all different kinds of joint pain being alleviated through carnivore, so I know it's not just me. Another thing that I found was I sleep better. And my wife jokes that as soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm asleep. And I don't know how long it takes me to go to sleep because I never timed it. But I know I sleep soundly. I wake up refreshed. I sleep about 7 hours a night pretty consistently. So that's really been welcome sleep, because before I would toss and turn and wake up 3 or 4 times in the night, and now, maybe once a night, a couple days a week, and the rest of the time I'm just sleeping right through. But the one thing that was really surprising to me, and I've not heard a lot of people talk about it, I've seen little tidbits here and there, this is a real surprising one, and that's the increase in libido. And for guys, this one is specifically targeted at you, because I'm sure you remember when you were younger having that morning wood. Well, guess what? It comes back. Yep, it does come back. So, that testosterone level skyrockets when you get on carnivore. At least it did for me, and I've heard other people that have experienced the same thing. So I got to believe that it's not just me. And that was really surprising to me, because I wasn't expecting it. And the first time it happened, I thought, it's just one of those things, that randomly happens. But no, it happens quite frequently. So that's a good thing. So this is everything I have on starting carnivore over 60. I don't see much difference in what we experience versus younger people who experience it. But I can say emphatically that it's been a fantastic journey for me. My wife is more ketovore than she's carnivore, but she's pretty close to carnivore, and she's experienced a lot of the same things. Her weight loss has been more gradual than mine, and I think it's just because she's ketovore. Plus she sits at a desk all day, so once the weather warms up, we'll get a little more physically active, and I think that'll help her speed up her weight loss. But we're both healthy. We're doing great. I don't see any downside to this diet at all, and I think if you give it a try, you'll find very similar results. So I hope you like this video. Give me a like, subscribe, and have a great day.